I lived in Las Vegas, and I was doing gray area fraud telemarketing, which was huge back in the late 80s, early 90s. It was Nevada's second biggest industry.
Doug, is it true you lived at the Fun City Motel
That
when you
was
were here?
one of the first places I lived was weekly rentals at the Fun City Motel, which is still there.
Where is
Uh,
that?
Sahara and the Strip.
Yeah,
Very
Las
nice.
Vegas Boulevard, yeah.
Yeah, it's very sketchy, but
It's got one of the most iconic signs. I think it's a
it
Holiday
is.
Motel. Next to the Holiday Motel, Fun Motel.
Fun City Motel. It's almost as iconic as the Clown Motel.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
Uh,
So you were living there. What year is this?
I moved there the first time in 1986, and my first job doing sketchy telemarketing was on Industrial Boulevard back then, and I was working for a gentleman called Steve Sisolak, who you might know in Nevada as now the governor.
Right.
I got fired from fraudulent telemarketing for customer abuse.
Hold on.
By
Steve was running an illegal telemarketing gig?
No, it wasn't illegal. That's why I was very careful to say gray area fraudulent.
Wow.
You know,
What
it's
did you say to the customer that got you fired?
a stroker in the telemarketing business is someone who knows it's a scam, but lets you go through the entire pitch pretending like they're believing it and they're going to buy from you. And then at the end, they tell you to go fuck yourself. So this guy just stroked me unbelievably on a huge order. I was already spending the commission in my head. And at the end, he goes, "Nah, I'm not interested," and hung up. And I realized the lead that I was working off of was an order form where he had gotten scammed before and his credit card was still on it. So I called him back and I went, "Yeah, you think it's funny to waste my time? Hey, what's this number? 54176." I read the card number back to him. I go, "Does that sound like your credit card? When I get home, I'm going to order every ad I see for Ginsu knives or Ronco records. I'm going to order 1,000 of them to your house on your credit card." But I forgot I'd already given him my fake name and the company phone number. So he called back, and Steve Sisolak, he ran a pretty tight ship for a shady operation. Yeah, he stormed
What
in
a-
and
what
made
a
me
story
clean out
this
my
is.
desk on the spot.
Oh me, oh my.
So then you went from the motel in your shady call center.
Yeah, so yeah, I did that, and I goofed off. It wasn't until 1990 that I found an open mic over at, it was Maryland and Flamingo. It was a bar. It's now called the Dive Bar. It's still there.
Yeah, of
It was
course.
called the Escape Lounge 2, and they did an open mic every week. And I used to go there, and I'd ask if I could go up next week, every week, till it was a running joke. "Yeah, sure. Next week you'll go up." But I finally wrote 5 minutes of dick jokes and went up and kept going up. And
Rest is history. Kept going up and then kept going up until you basically made it to bigger rooms.
yeah, but it was very strange because starting in Vegas, none of the major clubs, the strip clubs on the strip,
Yeah,
big
not
clubs
the
would
strip
touch
clubs.
locals. So you never, like any other city, I didn't know then, but any other city, there'd be a funny bone or an improv that had an open mic once a week. So the club would get to know you and then move you up. That didn't happen in Vegas. So there was only open micers living in a vacuum, never seeing pros work, never working with pros. So it wasn't until I left and moved to Phoenix that I was actually hired by the Improv at the Riviera. Yeah, it's a terrible place to start, but I didn't know that.